Hello, hello, hello. Stream will be starting very shortly. Appreciate you guys for being here and tuning in. We shall get started very, very soon. How's everybody doing this evening? Just gotta make a few posts just to say we are live. It is time. Let's do it. What's up, people? How y'all doing? We're in there like swimwear on a bad pool day. Oh man, I forgot my hat. Darn, I wanted to rock my hat today. It went nice with the fit. I'm gonna go grab it. I'll be right back. Here, let's go to the overhead view in the meantime. No, we don't need to. I'll be right back, y'all. I think that would be good to show on camera, actually. I think I'm gonna show you guys something different. All right, all right, all right. Welcome everybody. See, the hat got the red and the yellow in it. It goes nice with the Lion King shirt. Gotta have the Twitch. Twitch ain't letting me resubscribe. Hey Stan, first and foremost, welcome. Appreciate you being here. And when it comes to Twitch Prime, it's so annoying, but I think you have to do it through a web browser. I don't think you can do it on the mobile app, which I hate that Amazon/Twitch does that, but I know. I wish there was a way they made it easier. Or maybe there is a way, I just don't know. I'll see about maybe posting something on my Instagram or something about a quick way for anybody who wants to support that way. You can just see me on, you know, resubscribe with your Twitch membership. Oh, okay. Let me try that. Yeah, it seems like the only way you can sub through Prime is on a web browser. Can't forget the Bev. Never, never, never. We're soldering the Aki way. Alright. So tonight we have a few things that'll be fun. We're doing Gully Kit upgrades. We're gonna be doing, this one is actually not the ones they provided, but I have a customer who wanted their PS5 controller upgraded with Hall effect joysticks, aka no stick drift joysticks. These are electromagnetic, so you pretty much don't have to worry about stick drift with these. And Gully Kit's awesome. They sent out some products to me, and I should have a video out by next week for the products that they sent me. They want me to do a tutorial video, basically showing people how to do it. I guess they appreciated how I explained things, so I thought that was really nice of them to do that for your boy, you know. We're starting small, we're trying to get big. Not too big though, But yeah, first thing for tonight is going to be the stick drift upgrade, something light, something quick. That way I can talk with you guys. We could talk about some of the happenings that are going on. Bring up some cool stuff. Talk about some stuff at work. Blah, 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 blah. But no, I appreciate you all being here. We got 6 viewers, man. That's pretty good. And let me know if the music's too loud. I've been working with the volumes. I'm trying to lock in an exact percentage for the music volume, so that way it's not too low for you guys and doesn't drown out my voice at the same time. So getting an answer on that would be much appreciated. All right, let's get started. Let's do it. This controller right here. You know what? I did like these colorways when they came out, like these blue controllers. And let me switch over to the camera view. Boom. Got the overhead cam view. So yeah, real cool. The reason I started the stream a little bit later than I typically do on Fridays, well, I don't have a set schedule, but I'm trying to start the stream by like 7 p.m. I was actually at a retro video game museum a few hours ago. It was in Cocoa, so still in the county that I reside in, and it was really cool to see some of the stuff. There were some things I've never seen before, like a Game Boy Color attachment or Game Boy attachment that attaches to a sewing machine. Like, that was a thing that I had no clue about, so that was pretty awesome. I was actually there with one of my customers and friends. His Instagram account is PressStartPlayer1. He makes some pretty cool videos. I mean, posts. Still getting us started? Huh? Wait, something just happened. I think he just resubscribed. Thank you. Thank you for the resub. Appreciate that. I don't hear the alert. Oh, Electric Feel. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. She said music volume could be just slightly lower. It's a little distracting otherwise. Okay. Here, I set it to 9%. Is that a little bit better? And thank you for the feedback. All right, let's get it popping. So first thing on the docket, PS5 controller. That's better. Okay, sweet. So it looks like 9% is pretty optimal. PS5 controller, head stick drift. So actually, as I always like to say we should do, let's recreate the issue first. In order to do that, I am going to need a USB cable. Which everybody has that one drawer of cables. It's like so many cables. Why didn't my story upload? Oh, it did. Okay. They're talking about there. Oh, we have an alert. Hey, Stan the Man just resubbed for the second month. He's on a 2-month streak. Thank you, Stan the Man. Appreciate your Twitch Prime sub. Thank you. Alright, let me grab this USB cable. Oh, is that the one I just gave him? USB cables, man. I actually recently. Oh, okay, this one will work. Oh yeah, this will work perfect. I like this one too. Look at Stan the Man, subbing. OG triple OG. Appreciate that, Stan the Man, again. Thank you for the resub. Gotta reply for that. Alright. Let's get it popping with this controller. I'll sub on laptop tonight. Yeah. Probably should if you don't want to catch all the ads. I think currently at my rate of ads, I think it's an ad every like 20 minutes. It's like the default. I just left it at the default. Apparently you can increase it. I'm like, who would do that? You would have like no viewers. But maybe it makes sense for certain creators. Yeah, forget them ads. I agree. Crazy enough, I get ads on my own channel. Isn't that crazy? Not through my business page, because you're basically automatically subscribed to your own channel, but my personal Twitch account. I was like, yo, why am I getting ads all of a sudden? Because I subscribed to myself with Prime. Because, I mean, why not? But alright. Just connected this PS5 controller. Hopefully it doesn't take over the mic like it's done in the past. Right here. We're going to go over to the Gamepad Tester web app. I forget who developed it. I need to... Oh yeah, this thing's definitely got drift. Alright, let me screen share with you guys. I'm not touching this controller. Look at that. Oh my gosh, stupid ads, bro. What is this? Get this out of here. I need to install AdBlock. This is ridiculous. It actually slows down the browser too, or the web page. Yo, what the heck? Stop. Okay. So obviously I'm not touching the controller and it thinks it's going left. That's pretty bad stick drift. But I like to connect the controller just to test the other buttons and triggers. Ooh, I think he spilled soda on this thing at some point. Let's see about trying to clean that up as best as I can without fully disassembling. He didn't mention it to me, the customer. Yeah, he definitely spilled some type of liquid. It's pretty sticky. Alright, but we know what we gotta work on. And reconfirm the stick drift issue on the left stick. Doesn't really matter to know which stick exactly is having the stick drift because I will be replacing both of them since they opted for an upgrade for an added fee. Yeah, forget that. I like that controller color, Tokyo Drift. This controller color makes you think of Tokyo Drift, Stan. That's interesting. I respect it. You know, there's another controller with this similar color, but it has like it's like a Fortnite themed one. I was looking to pick that up because low key I like to collect the PS5 controllers, the different revisions of them. I'm not super big on controller collecting. I'm more of like a console and game kind of guy, but they have some cool ones. Yeah, that bit got Tokyo Oh, you talking about the stick. Wow, I'm slow. Of course you're talking about the stick drift. Yo, that's a good way to put it. Yo, I need to make an emote with that. Thank you for the idea. That's a good idea. The junk got Tokyo drift. Or maybe get like a sound clip of like the beginning of that song. Like ding 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 ding. Fast and Furious. dip, dip. Oh yeah, I definitely see the residue. Oh yeah, and you guys can see the residue. You see that brown? Look at that, even down there. It's definitely like some type of soda or beverage. Oh, we have and I'm sorry about this, guys. I still didn't link the Twitch and YouTube chat, but the YouTube chat, we have Quail Pig Gaming. He said, "Hey, caught one of your streams. Really cool how you helped out GameCube Galaxy. I'm just now getting into retro for my channel." Oh, that's awesome, Quail Pig. And thank you. And by helped out is a strong word. I think GameCube Galaxy really helped me out. Ever since his like game room tour slash interview, you know, towards his goal of collecting all those games for the GameCube, it really helped out my channel quite a bit. So I'm really grateful for him for that. Also, he gives like awesome recommendations. He recommended this game to me, him and Torn Meniscus, which is a viewer of mine. It's like this volleyball game for the GameCube, and apparently it's like cracked, and there's like tech in it, almost like Melee. So I told him we're gonna have to play that on stream one day, and GameCube Galaxy was really down for it. Hope you get some channel growth. Where are you going with your channel? Quail Pig, I think where I really want to end up is just maybe having like guides. For now, I'm just live streaming. But I think in the future it'd be cool to like take the VODs from my streams and cut them up in a way that's just helpful for people, just to know how to fix certain things, especially things that require soldering. And Quail Pig Gaming also said finding the final game in a collection is a really big deal. Oh yeah, especially because like you probably saw in the video, Chris at Ready Set Game had the copy of the game. He just didn't have the manual. And, you know, Marcello was saying he would have just got it there. It makes sense. I totally get it. But yeah, I'm just glad I was able to help Marcello out, man. He's such a good dude. Like, really a good dude, man. He went above and beyond. I got nothing but good things to say about him. And then his editing skills, fire. Like, that video he made, it was like a movie, man. Like, once you start watching it and you're locked in, you don't unlock. Like, you can't press L again like this is Zelda. There's no Z targeting. Like, you're locked. You're stuck. It's like Kingdom Hearts lock on. So, come to find out, I was talking to him and just saying like, man, you did a really good job on editing that video. And he was telling me how in high school he was one of those guys in the media club. So like he would edit videos for school. And I was like, you know what? That's cool to see someone actually using those skills outside of school. Because we've all probably had friends who were in the media club. Or for like the morning announcements or something. It's cool to see someone actually use those skills outside of school. And Quail Pig Gaming also said, Jake Simmons' channel is a really good reference if you're going to make guides on how to restore, repair, clean gaming equipment. He focuses on Game Boy. Jake Simmons. I'll have to look him up. I don't think I've heard of him. Is that like his channel name? Or does he use a different alias? Or maybe his gamer tag or something? Not trying to be disrespectful, but I just... Jake Simmons. Jake Simmons. I'll have to look him up. These components over here. So yeah, we're just disassembling this controller. I'm definitely going to try to clean this up a bit. There's definitely sugar residue. Darn. Big got Tokyo Drift. Fast and Furious! That's his real name and channel name. Okay. Yeah, Quillpig. I'll definitely look that up. Thank you. Appreciate the suggestion. Oh yeah, this option and start button are like literally stuck like for good. Like really well. Alright, I'm gonna have to see about taking care of that. But let's crack this thing open. There's these two tabs on the bottom here. So as you start separating, you need to lift these tabs and get past the locking tab down here at the bottom. So now that I got it past that, boom, just like that. Oh yeah, more residue. Man, this thing took a really gnarly spill. I'm surprised it like nothing got shorted out, man. It's really fortunate. There's definitely sticky residue. Ew. It's like molasses. Alright. We'll take care of that. First things first, take the battery out. If you're gonna work on electronics, it's generally a good practice to just take out the battery. You don't have to worry about shorting things out because they're getting voltage. We need to visit again soon. Missing y'all. Yeah, man. You know y'all are always welcome. Need to get you an iFixit sponsorship. Man, if I got sponsored by iFixit, I would probably lose my mind. I will definitely lose my mind because I love their equipment. Like you see, I got their sticker here. And this is just one of the iFixit toolkits I have. I have their magnetic mat. I have their suction cup. I really enjoy their tools, and I like what they stand for. I would love an iFixit sponsorship. That would be awesome. I guess I would just have to get on their radar and keep doing what I'm doing. But you know, in time, not trying to rush anything. And of course, I'm sure they would like to see some history, some tenure with what I'm doing. I started my business about not even 2 years ago, like October 2023. So almost like a year and a half. Coil Pig. So we'll see. And there's still a few more things I want to do for the stream, but this has nothing to do with potentially getting sponsored. Yo, what's good, bro? Hey, it's Billtron. Welcome back. Like SpongeBob. On the Flying Dutchman. Welcome back to the pack. Bam, that rhymes. Bars. We gotta plan something. Definitely. What console/games do you end up playing the most? So Quail Pig on YouTube asked, what consoles and games do you end up playing the most? I can't wait to merge the chats. I'm sorry about this, guys, because I want you guys to see what other people are saying. And I did find a way. I just gotta find the time to do it. I still work a full-time job. No excuse, but that's why. Lately, I've been playing NetPlay, Slippy NetPlay, so Melee Online. For a period of time, for maybe like 2 years, I played Melee competitively. I'm a Falco main and a Falcon secondary. So I used to go to like the local colleges here and play in tournaments. I made a good amount of money. I think total earnings for me playing for like 2 years, which I was gonna do anyway for fun, I think I made like around $300 to $500, somewhere in that range. That was pretty decent, not gonna lie. Not tooting my own horn, but that was pretty decent. But I also am a huge Destiny player. And Destiny is a game where you can hop in, play for a little bit, and hop out. It's not a huge commitment. But there are some games I am looking to play, like the new Expedition 33 game. I'm looking to play that. My brother's currently playing through it, and he's loving it. And it's getting nothing but good reviews. And I'm a huge RPG fan, so it's definitely something I want to play. And then on the... Also doesn't make you rage. Lol, yeah. Certain games get me mad because, you know, team-based games typically get me more upset because sometimes you question why your teammates are doing certain things. Like, I still play Halo Infinite. I'm still a Halo player, and boy, oh boy, that does it. Electric Field 000 on the Twitch side asked, Jeff, how many controllers with stick drift have you been able to successfully repair? It's a great question. I want to say at this point, probably I'm in the 50s, I think, between random Google calls from my Google business page calling me, and my personal controllers, and yeah, it's about 50 controllers, if not more. Stan the Man said, I need to get back on Halo with you, man. Hey, I would love to play with you on stream. That would be funny. I think people would find it interesting to see how we kind of talk, like our little familial lingo. And, oh boy, pulled that a little too much. Fruity said, no, the Smash Bros. Rage is real. Well, that game gets me mad too, but any game that's competitive that you're passionate about is going to kind of enrage you a little bit, especially when it's a game like Melee with high execution. It just, when you mess up and it's your fault you messed up, yeah, that stings. It stings a lot. Is that 50-50 for controller success? I think out of 50 controllers, I've only been not able to fix one when it came to stick drift, and I think it came down to my error. I think I used a little bit too much force when removing a module one time. Like the solder wasn't fully liquidous, so it pulled the barrel out, I believe. But then again, I'm not entirely sure if that's exactly what caused the failure, but it's only been one controller with stick drift that I haven't been able to repair, and I still have that one and I use it for parts, which I was able to use it for parts recently, which is really good. Oh, your mic sound weird out of nowhere? Oh, sorry. Maybe it got removed from my face. Quillpig says, I'm a Nintendo only player streamer, so I'm looking forward to Elden Ring. Oh, gotcha. Oh, yeah, when that comes over. That's going to be a good port. And he also said, but I have a huge retro backlog to work through too. I just played Super Mario World, Wind Waker, and Super Metroid for the first time? Oh my, that's a treat. I wish I could go back and play Super Metroid for the first time and like wipe my brain every time I play it. That game is amazing. I'm new to GameCube, but I've been really liking the Retro Fighters Blade GC controller. Yes, GameCube Galaxy did like a subtle review of that controller. He really liked it. I really liked his take on it. It's really good. And the fact that you can use it on modern and retro consoles is really nice. Oh, Stan the Man, does my mic sound better now? I'm not entirely sure what happened there. I think it maybe got knocked away from my mouth. Hopefully it's nothing crazy. My mic isn't failing on me. Anyway, back to this controller repair. I'm gonna stay focused and remove these ribbon cables. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have to desolder these wires. The motor, vibration motor wires. Yeah, look at that sugar in there. Definitely needs to be cleaned. Everything that's brown that you're seeing is sugar from maybe a soda spill. Again, kind of shocked that the controller did not get damaged. Like, none of the liquids seem to have made it to the... Oh, yeah, it did. But not to anything that's electrically connected. Very fortunate. I wonder if that's what caused the stick drift on this controller. Could have been. Could have been the liquid. Stop smacking yourself? What do you mean stop smacking myself? What does that even mean? And are you sure it's sugar? Yes, I'm sure it's sugar. I'm not tasting it. Did you like it? I bet you meant to say, did you lick it? Fruity is a troublemaker. You're funny. Sounds a little tinny, but better. Yeah, the mic quality isn't the best. I wonder if it would sound better if I ran it wired, but for the way my setup is, I can't really do a wired mic because I switch positions. I'll have to figure something out. Maybe something with better quality. Alright, just applying flux, which is Stan the Man's best favorite thing. No, I'm just playing. I'm gonna keep that meme going, even when it's beyond dead. You said your mic gets knocked away, but you be sitting. Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. So, we need to make a note of the wires and where they're placed, because we need to put them back in the same position that we take them out of. So, just putting this up to the camera. Alright, now that our soldering iron is nice and hot, let's remove some of those wires and also get a pair of tweezers. So we have red, black, green, yellow. And the same thing on the other side, mirrored. So we're just going to melt the solder and remove the wires. We got a wire there. That's one. Red is removed. Black is removed. Green is removed. Yellow is removed. And we gotta do the same thing. Notice how I rotate the controller. This is just because I'm right hand dominant, and it's the hand I use for my soldering iron. And I always like my angle of attack to match what I'm working on. It's just a little mental thing, a note I make just to help me out. Alright, all the motor wires have been removed. Now we should be able to get the PCB out. Boom. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, see, he didn't mention anything about a soda spillage. Yeah, the spillage is pretty gnarly. That flux. Lex Lugum. Hey, it's my broski. Yo. He said, I like the hat. How you doing, man? Nice controller repair. Thanks. Doing well, man. Nice to have you here in the chat. And yeah, I figured the hat matches the fit. You know what I'm saying? The yellow and, you know, I'll be coordinating. All right, Quillpig said, gotta go record more Mario 64 blind gameplay. How often do you stream/upload? That's awesome, by the way, Quillpig, that you stream yourself gaming. I want to do that a lot more. I'm trying to get a schedule locked in with my day job schedule, but Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday are the days I want to stream. And then any other day it will probably just be gaming. And I currently don't do uploads. All my VODs are from my live streams, but at some point I gotta learn how to edit. I have the PC that can do it. I don't even know where to start, to be honest. I didn't do any media type classes in school, so I'm thinking maybe getting a MacBook to try to use iMovie, or maybe picking up a license for the other softwares on PC like DaVinci. I think DaVinci's free. I know there's Premiere Pro, and there's a few others that I've been looking into that might be worthwhile to get. So one of those soon. But it's nice to have you here, Quillpig. Enjoy, enjoy. I wish I could be like you and erase my memory and go back to those games, man. That would be amazing. Sounds great. I'll catch you again. Remind everyone to like and subscribe so they don't forget. Oh yeah, good point. Like and subscribe, everybody. He has to cover the shine so we don't get blind. Wow. The disrespect. No, that's actually a good one. I mean, I did recently exfoliate. So yeah, that's probably why it's extra shiny. Yo, it's Air Studios. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Alright, let's get onward. So we definitely have to take care of the soda spillage. But I guess let me focus on the PCB for now. So me personally, I like to put the stick caps back in the same place they came from, because I know what it's like to be so used to the feel of a controller, especially being a Melee player. So I always just make a note of which side I got them from. Have at you again said, when Wolfpack cookbook? I mean, that's a good question. What are we cooking though? I don't cook anything. I need to start cooking more. When you wear a face mask, how far back do you do? Wait, huh? Fruity asked, when you wear a face mask, how far back do you do? Asking for a friend. How far back do you? Oh, do you go? Asking for a friend. I'm not sure. That question, I'm not sure. I'm confused. Like, wear the mask. I am totally missing it. I'm too slow for whatever you're saying. And hey, you gotta stop dissing us bald guys. Fair enough. Yeah, man. There's beauty in baldness. That's biblical. Alright, first things first, let's clean the residue. Because it is on the PCB. I thought it didn't make it there, but it did. So we gotta clean this up and bring my alcohol closer. I love these like push bottles because you push on it and it dispenses alcohol. It's really nice. He said he exfoliates. I had to go there. Wow. Oh, you're talking like, oh, like a peel mask. Oh my words. Here, I gotta show you guys this. Let's go to the microscope cam. You guys see this soda residue, man? Stuff is intense. Look at that. It's literally no longer the liquid part. It's literally just all the sugar. And that stuff does not want to come off. Like, just basic alcohol is not enough. Let me see if I'm sure. Yes, I do. And I want to be careful. I don't want to knock off any components, but yeah, this stuff could definitely lead to corrosion of these components. So you see these capacitors. Capacitor here, that looks like a ferrite bead. And then this one's fully encased in sugar. I wonder if heating it up would help, like, dissolve it, actually. Then you got this sugar residue. Oh, look at that. The sugar residue was already corroding the solder mask, which is the green stuff. That's insane. Yo, this is not coming off. Not with like normal means, like just a brush and... Okay, have to deal with that. She pulling a Drake. He better be ready to pull a Kendrick. I'm ready for the halftime show. That sugar, just dunk it all in baking soda. Oh my god, there's sugar on it. So we have someone in the chat on the YouTube side, just EH. So I feel like that's a hilarious username. Yes, there's literally sugar everywhere. Do you have BioAct to remove it? No. I have alcohol, elbow grease, and willpower. But for something like this that's really caked on, I think I'm just gonna have to scrape it. Just gonna have to scrape it off. Oh, this is like molasses. I'm gonna try to be very careful. That's why I'm using a plastic tool. Don't want to scrape up the board too much, and don't want to oh, this is bad. Oh, sorry. A little out of frame there. Right there. And the power of friendship? Absolutely. Best friends forever. Best friends forever. Ring. That's wild. LMAO. Did they pour some drink? Yeah. The only thing is though, and customers tend to do this sometimes, and you know what? It is what it is at this point. I should just expect it. Or maybe they forget. Let me give them the benefit of the doubt. But all he was wanting me to do on this controller was replace these modules with Hall Effect ones, which are upgraded, so this controller should never get stick drift again. And he told me the controller has stick drift, but he didn't mention maybe how it got it, and I'm starting to think it's because of the spill. But yeah, we should wager. What do we think this is? Coca-Cola? Is this customer a Coca-Cola man? Dr. Pepper aficionado? It's definitely brown, so we know it's cola. It has to be either Pepsi, Dr. Pepper. The drink spill seems like it was a long time ago. Oh yeah, it had to be. This controller was mailed in. The customer does reside in Florida, but this was mailed in. So it had to make it through. He said it was the sticky detonator. Oh my gosh. Stan the man, that's hilarious that you said that. We used to play with this guy named PJ back on Xbox 360 days in Halo 4. And Halo 4 had this weapon called the sticky detonator. But PJ was from New York and had this accent, and he would say it a certain way just to be annoying. And he would go, sticky detonator. Yo, that is a memory. I'm glad you said that. That's like perfect. I'm so happy you said that. Oh my goodness. Sticky detonator. Why did he say it like that? Yeah. Oh man, PJ. PJ's funny, yeah. That was a good one. Just clean the controller, e-boy. Oh yeah. Don't treat me like LeBron now. Have at you again. Uh, Ed said how crazy how PlayStation and Xbox don't implement Hall effects joysticks in their controllers. I agree. I do understand why they don't, especially coming from a electronic hardware engineering background. They're trying to cut costs and make the most profit. I get it. And they're it works in their favor for so many angles because then they could just say, "Hey customer, you broke your controller. Buy another one that costs $70." Or send it to us and we'll fix it for like more than half the cost of the controller. So I get their model, and they're just trying to be, save money and maximize profits, all that good stuff. But what is crazy, it's gonna be weird saying your name in a flow. Sounds like I'm like just pausing and trying to say like or something. What is crazy though is that the Dreamcast actually had Hall effect sticks, which some people may not know about. But the Dreamcast, Sega, being Sega, was ahead of the curve. Alright, let's see about this side of the controller. PCB. Yep, there's a little bit of soda residue right there. Oh, wait, right there. Pull a Diddy? Hey, yo. But yeah, it's crazy how a console from literally I think the Dreamcast came out in either 2000 or 99, one of those two dates, and that controller had Hall effect sticks. YouTube commenter S said, but at the same time, I feel like they know people will just buy an alternative controllers that do have Hall effect sticks. Exactly. That's the one nice thing about capitalism, is wherever you mess up, someone is itching to take your place. Because, I mean, if you ain't gonna do it, somebody gotta do it. Like Kendrick said. Somebody gotta do it. Wow, alcohol is not effective whatsoever. I wonder if this other contact cleaner I have will be more effective. Every now and again I have to use this contact cleaner. Let's see if it does better. It's like electronic contact cleaner. Let's see if it does the job. I hope so. Nope. No difference. It's literally a scrape only type job. Wow. There we go. Yeah, this residue is pretty intense. I want to clean it off, but I don't want to spend too much time on doing so. I might just replace the sticks and then contact the customer and ask him if he wants me to do the cleaning, because this is beyond like my complimentary cleaning service. This is gonna take a while. I may need to just let him know, and then he can decide from there. I think I'll just get to the point where the buttons aren't super stuck. See about doing that, and then from there I'll see where he wants to go with it. And said, "Oh no, that's true. They were hella advanced back there." Yeah, I feel so bad for Sega, man. They were always so ahead. Yesterday or Wednesday, a viewer asked me the question. He was asking amazing questions. I was actually with that guy, Player One. He invited me. He's local to my area. He invited me to go to a retro video game museum in Cocoa. Unfortunately, they're closing down, like for good, this Sunday. But they had some really good stuff in there. And he asked me the question yesterday. He was like, "Hey, if there's one video game company from the past out of Sony, Sega, Microsoft, and Nintendo that you would like to visit their like engineering lab, which one would it be?" And I immediately said Sega, because Sega was just so ahead, man. The things they were doing were just amazing for the time period they were in. Alright, I think this is clean enough for me to try to just replace the analog sticks at this point. So let's go ahead, sorry, go to the overhead camera. Electric Field 000 said, alcohol is mainly good, it's just a rinse for the leftover crust. I got you. Leftover crust, no Papa John's. Upcharge it, always upcharge. I hear you, I hear you. Alright, so last time I did this repair, I tried a new technique, which was a lot quicker, which was the hot air method. Which I've used hot air before, but not typically to replace analog sticks. And it worked out pretty well, so I'm going to see about doing that again, actually. The one thing is there are plastic connectors in that region, so you need to be careful not to melt them. So you have to keep the air moving. You know, make sure you don't dwell on one spot for too long. Let's get this nozzle on there. Nozzle. Alright, that's still kind of loose. Man, I guess I really undid this last time I used this nozzle. Alright, there we go. That feels a lot better. Alright, let's get the hot air going. While that's heating up, check the comments. And it said on YouTube, said, I hate thick boards. Hot air can make or break things with thick boards. Yeah, sometimes the hot air, it takes a while to transfer through. Totally understand that. I'm surprised you mentioned that. Or do you do electronic repairs yourself? If you don't mind me asking. Knife tip. Oh, the knife tip. Alright, so for this repair, I like to add leaded solder to the original solder joints. And this is because it'll decrease the overall melting temperature of the solder joints. So I'm adding flux as a catalyst for solder reflow and deoxidizing the solder joints. So let's do that now. Solder. I do not have a fume extractor, so I'm putting this mask on in the meantime. And on YouTube said, not like professionally, only sometimes when I need to repair my own stuff. I'm just more of a hobbyist. Oh, okay. That's cool, man. I like it when people do stuff. They empower themselves, level up like a video game. Plus, there's just a certain level of satisfaction that comes from doing stuff yourself. Nothing wrong with hiring someone or something's a little out of range for you. Like, I have stuff that I'm not doing myself, right? And I need to hire somebody, but if you can decrease the activities that you need to have somebody else, it's always nice. Alright, that should be that. Now we can try our hot air method. And I can use my Omni Vise. This new vise I got. It's like, I really like it. Just to hold things down. So we're gonna clamp the board in there. Sure. Get a good clampage. Get some good clampage. Make sure this thing holds it in place. And I don't want to squeeze too hard. Don't want to damage anything. But just firm enough. Alright, that should work. Alright, let's do it. Let's do the hot air method. Be as surgical as possible. So basically, like I was saying earlier, you don't want to dwell too much on certain areas because the heck was that? That thing burnt up real quick. Oh, it's a piece of hair. Alright. I'll have to clean that off later. Sorry for the drop in mic quality because I'm wearing the mask, but I'd rather protect my lungs. So we're just gonna heat this up. And keep the hot air moving and make sure to have a good angle to avoid the plastic components that I mentioned before. I just want to get this hot at the same time, all the solder joints, so that they can fall down. And I'll just pull it off. But yeah, before I was using solder braid and it just takes a while to do it that way. But it's nice to just be able to use hot air and just take it off. And then sometimes, because these housings on these stick modules are plastic, it can leave some plastic residue because the plastic melts, because obviously you're heating it up to a very high temperature. But you can just scrape that off with like a tool. It's really like a metal tool. You can scrape it off. But yeah, those joints are starting to get really shiny. It's a good sign that the solder is getting quite liquidous. It's the industry term. Or wetting. Get proper wetting. You don't want to pull before it's ready, so you cause damage. Oh, it's getting there. Almost there. Just like that. So we got it out. So you see this string? This is the plastic that melted a little bit. So there's going to be plastic residue on the other side of the board, but I'll scrape that off. That's one stick out. And then you still need to clean up the holes. Yeah. You can see a little bit of that solder residue. Or the plastic residue. But let's go ahead and do the other side. Same technique. He said, yeah, I have more time to fix my own stuff. Otherwise, I'd probably hand it off to someone else to fix it. Yeah, totally understand. And Quanak on YouTube said, definitely don't want to pull too soon. I tore a pad off my 7800. Yeah, man. I feel like some people, when they're soldering, they think pressure is a factor, like how hard you push down, or they try to be forceful, which makes sense with most other things, especially mechanically. Like usually if something's not going in, like if you're trying to do like a brake job on your car or something, you need to be a little forceful, but this is not the case with something like this. You gotta take care of it when it's ready. So Emma Fruity on Twitch said, what is the weirdest repair item that you have ever worked on? Weirdest repair item? I gotta go through my Rolodex in my brain. Weirdest repair item. Weirdest. I think key fobs are the weirdest, but I have one up and coming that I guess would be considered weird by most people, but it's a electric shaver. I don't think that it would be the weirdest thing in my opinion that I've worked on, but that's coming up real soon. I'm still debating whether I'm going to do that repair on stream because it's something so unique. And sometimes when something's new, watching someone figure it out can be a little not so interesting. But we'll see. Alright, just like that. Second one's out. See how much quicker that was? Man, I used to do this all by hand and manually desolder every point. Man, that was taking way too long. Alright, can let the hot air station cool off. And let's unclamp it. Thing looks good. Just got to clear out those holes, and there's just a little bit of plastic residue. So nice to use this. Such a better method. I'm so glad I attempted it and it ended up working out for the boy. Oh, Quanak said I was just impatient. Understand. What temperature do you have your hot air station set at? Literally the hottest it can go, with maximum airflow. And the reason for that is for this particular style of hot air stations, the fan, the blower is built into the handle. They're not the best at regulating CFM, or the amount of air that passes through. So I just regulate with my distance and my angle, because yeah, if I don't, it just feels like it's not producing enough heat. You know what? Let me do this under the microscope. I could be a bit more technical. So here's some of that plastic residue I was talking about that you can just scrape off. Boom, just like that. Sometimes it comes off in a whole chunk, sometimes it comes off in little pieces. It's kind of like an orange, you know, when you're peeling an orange, sometimes you get it all in one pool, or like a freaking hard-boiled egg that can be so annoying when it wants to break in little itty-bitty pieces. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Sometimes you get the sauce, and sometimes you don't get the sauce. You get the shaft. Pause. And then we have a little bit more residue right in the middle there. Let's take care of that. Try to keep a shallow angle. Don't want to dig too much into the board. Alright. Just like that. Old sticks are out. Now we're going to install the new ones. We got some plastic residue on the edge there. Alright. Got to scrape that off. Same thing. We're just going to line that up. Let me see if I can get a little better focus for you guys. There we go. Shallow angle as I can get. Nice. It's coming off as like one chunk. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautimous. Alright. Let's switch back over to the overhead cam view. Planex said, thank you. I have a few projects, but it seems I never have the time. That's why I will probably hire you again in the future. Wait, hire me again? Wait. Oh, are you Quantavious? You had the PS5? Are you Quantavious on YouTube? And while you're answering that, on YouTube said, regulating with distance is so much easier and more efficient. It's like cooking with high heat. Makes things much faster, but you gotta be more careful. Precisely. Exactly that. Electric Field 000 on Twitch said, is 400 degrees Celsius, or 400 Celsius, the hottest you can go on that particular soldering iron? So on this soldering iron, I have a Yihua 948. It's a Chinese brand that's sold on Amazon. When I first started this business, I didn't want to invest in super high-end stuff, like the stuff I use at my day job. So I figured something more hobbyist level, and then when it fails, or if it fails, I end up upgrading, or if I need to. I think the highest this goes to, I think it's in Fahrenheit. Let me pull up a conversion real quick. I think the highest it goes for both, for the soldering iron is 842, which I think I have it at max. Let's see. 842 Fahrenheit to C. Yeah, that's 450. And then the hot air station, the max it goes to is 896, which is 480. No, you did my Nomad and Master System Super Combat. Oh! It's Joe. Welcome. I didn't even know that was you, man. Well, welcome. Now that I know it's you, now I'm like extra hype. And I'd do it again. Alright, let's scrape. Oh man, don't tell me I burned some of this residue on the board and now it's stuck forever. Oh boy. Or is this flux? You know what? Now that you're in chat, Quan, it just reminded me that um it reminded me that we were supposed to look into some type of Switch alternative for you for one of your retro consoles. I just remembered that. I'm sorry it's been so long that I haven't gotten back to you. Quan said, I'm not usually up this late, but I thought you were live and figured I'd pop in. Well, I'm so glad you thought that, man. It's awesome. The more the merrier. Let me see if I can scrape this off. Wait, this was an area I already scraped off, so I guess there was still residue. Okay. Is what it is. Don't think it's gonna cause any major issue. Let's clean the old flux off. Wait, no, not yet, because I'm gonna have to remove the flux from these solder joints. So we're gonna go back on the Omni vise. Be sure not to squeeze too hard. I don't want to damage anything. And then we're just gonna remove the excess solder. It's nice to have a solder sucker. I know a lot of people have it, but I don't know, I just prefer this method. Oh, you did find a replacement. That's awesome. I'm curious what you ended up going with, and and how well it like fits and everything. That's cool, man. Very resourceful of you. Oh wait, why did I take my mask off? I need to just invest in a fume extractor. All this taking the mask off, taking the mask on. I know I can make a future joke here, but oh boy. You know what, Quan? Now that I know it's you, I wonder if would you be interested in going to that retro video game museum before they close down for good on Sunday? They closed down for good on Sunday. I think you would like that going there, and it'd be cool to like go and hear what your thoughts are on the place or on some of the consoles that are there. They have some really good stuff. So just clearing out these holes. Solder sucker, is that another name for solder wick? Oh no. What I mean by solder sucker, they have different versions. They have some that are like spring loaded that are plastic, and then one like this. This is basically a solder vacuum. It has a hot tip and a chamber with an air pump attached to it. You place it over the solder joint, you wait a little bit, you press the trigger and it pulls the solder up. Solder sucker or solder vacuum. Electric feel to answer that. But this is the solder wick. I call it the John sometimes for John Wick. At least at work. There was a young kid at work that came up with that. Quan said, I want to go, but the wife made plans for us. If something changes, I'll reach out to you. Please do. And then on YouTube said, I wonder when EU is going to force Apple to make their products more repairable. There's talk about it, but no action, which sucks. Thinking about just switching to Android sometimes. You know what, man? I totally hear you. And that argument is exactly why I'm kind of not super gung-ho for buying like a Tesla. Because I'm so used to working on my own things, including cars. And the fact that I can't just go and buy parts myself infuriates me. But I did hear recently, Louis Rossmann, there was some advancement on right to repair. So I really hope that that goes well. I haven't watched this video yet, but I saw the thumbnail. And right to repair is so important, man. Like if you don't, not to get super political, but if you can't repair what you own, do you really own it? You know what I mean? You can't buy parts. You're at the mercy of the manufacturer. That's not fun. And it's like they got you in a basically a stranglehold or a monopoly. It's like, okay, my thing broke. I'm capable of fixing it. I want to fix it, but I can't because you guys won't sell me the parts. Or you'll sue the manufacturer who made the part for you for selling your part. It's like, that's very anti-consumer. Again, not trying to be super political, but it is something I think about, and it is annoying because it affects us, especially nowadays where everything is so expensive. And it's not like everybody has millions of dollars like some of these people who don't care, who can just buy another one and not even blink about it. Electric Phil said, "Oh, okay, never used one. Thanks for the clarification." Yeah, of course, no problem. These ground planes, boy, they take a lot of heat. It's taking a while to get the solder out. It's usually how it goes. Here, let me add some flux. It'll do it for me. Put some more heat on there. Maybe even increase my iron temp a little bit. 777. Just because I like the number 7. Have you guys ever studied numerology, like the study of numbers? It's super nerdy and geeky, but it's pretty cool. Some of the stuff that apparently what each number means and like the lore behind numbers and certain things. Pretty cool. Something I looked into when I was younger. All right, we got all the clean holes on this side. We just got to do that one more time. And Quan said, I'm also running into the problem of car parts not being made anymore. Oh yeah, especially if you have a vintage like sports car or any vintage vehicle. Like I'm worried about that with my car because it was made in 08. And it's almost at that point where it's like getting parts are going to be ridiculous. And I said, yeah, for real. And I've had people being sued for not being authorized Apple repair service provider, which is effed. Hey, I honestly, in my future, I probably won't become a certified Apple service provider because of Louis Rossmann. Excuse me. Louis Rossmann talked about like what it's actually like to be in that program. And again, you just get nerfed. They literally nerf you. Like you can't get parts outside of them, and you can only go through them, which basically increases your turnaround time by a huge margin. And most people don't want to go a long time without their phone. It's not a leisure product like a video game console or something, something that you can live without. A phone these days is essentially essential. So most people, they're just going to go to whoever can get their phone fixed the quickest, even if they have to pay a little more, because it's in economic terms, it's an inelastic cost. So no, it's just, I don't know. I don't know if I would ever join that program, to be honest, because they come through. Apparently Apple comes to your shop and they audit you, and if they find that you have like parts from some other source, you'll get fined, or you might even get removed from the program. I'm like, yo, that's ridiculous. Yeah, Apple's cool on the front end, and I have Apple products, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm wearing an Apple Watch right now. I have an iPhone. But there are some things that are just scuffed, man. Especially when it comes to this right to repair or just consumer repair world. It's just scuffed. It's not fair. Most people don't know because they don't really think about it, or it doesn't really affect them yet. But that's how it goes, man. They can get away with it, so they'll do it. It's just human nature. He said, you apply to get nerfed. Yeah, like how is that legal? Exactly. 1000%, man. It's like, how are they able to get away with that? It reminds me of Sonic Adventure, when you're fighting Robotnik or Dr. Eggman at the end with Sonic, the Sonic story. And Dr. Robotnik, every time he takes damage, he goes, "You're not gonna get away with this." I don't know why I thought of that, but it's a memory. Played that game a lot. Nice. Nice. See, this is why I wear gloves, because see how long I'm having to hold the soldering iron on these solder joints to remove it? My fingers would be cooked right now if I wasn't wearing these gloves with the rubber grips. Helps a ton. I'm team gloves. One person I was just helping with soldering, he was like, no gloves, no glove, no love. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But then I realized where that stems from, and I was like, oh yeah, never mind. I was like, I can't say that in my post. Alright. Looks like all the holes are cleaned up. Yeah, Ed on YouTube says, yeah, I like Apple products. It's just how they deal with them is what I don't like. Like the repairability, or that only Pro models are 120 hertz, even though you find Androids that are like $300 and have 120. Man, you are speaking my language. So I don't have a Pro iPhone. I haven't ever. And every time I go to use like one of my brother's phones, I immediately notice the refresh rate. Because again, I play games competitively and I guess I'm sensitive to it. Some people, they don't even notice it, which is insane to me. But I notice it immediately and I'm like, oh my gosh, the screen is crispy. But then I'm like, yeah, I don't need a Pro. At least at the time, I really didn't. I'm not into photography. I take more pictures now, but it's just because of the business and posting things on Instagram. Alright, we are looking good. Just gonna clean off the board, get the flux off the board, and then I'm going to install the new modules, and we're gonna calibrate them and test. Oh man, I'm running low on these swabs. I need to order some more. I use sponge foam swabs because they don't leave as much of a residue like cotton Q-tips type swabs do. Yeah, they can leave their cotton strands. Alright, that side looks good. Same, I don't know how people not notice it. Exactly. I'm like, yo, my brother tells me, my oldest brother, and sometimes he's in the chat, shout out to him. And he's a lurker, so he could be here and just not say nothing. He'd be lurking. He could be in here. His name is Richie. Anyway, my oldest brother, Richie, he says all the time, he's like, yeah, I'm not sensitive to that. I'm like, I can't play Smash Brothers on any TV because, or without game mode on. I'm like, we need game mode. There's too much latency. I can't do it. And he's like, I don't even notice it. I'm like, must be nice. I was like, I wish I could be like you. Must be nice. You'll save money on monitors, graphics cards, everything. Alright, board looks a lot better. Board looking good, nice and clean. Other side looking pretty good, but I think I don't need a swap for this. I'll just use this off. But yeah, I'm so glad I was just like, you know what? Let me try hot air to remove these modules. And that was like one of the best things I ever decided to do, which works very well. Hot air is king if you know how to wield it. It's like Excalibur. or people might not notice it and they just don't care. I get, which is fine, but I like, but like it should be a standard at this point. At not a premium feature, the cost difference between 60 and 100 turrets isn't even a lot. Yeah, I agree with you, from what I've heard anyway. No, I agree. I think the technology is well matured, so there's a lot of competition. I agree. I don't know. Apple just needs a way to kind of entice people to get a Pro. It's just marketing. I totally get it. Quan on YouTube said, that's why I play all my retro stuff on a CRT. Exactly. And if I can get my hands on a Sony Trinitron or whatever, or a Sony Wega TV, oh yeah. I will get that in a heartbeat. But alright, now that we got the board all cleaned up, let's get the new modules. Shout out to GullyKit. Well, these ones I purchased myself. But I do need to get that video out for them, man. I would not want to lose out on that opportunity because I dropped the ball. I would love to do, I need to do my part in that collaboration, which I told them by next week I will. I got delayed because some life stuff happened with family members, but that's fine. We just gotta keep pushing. You know, Quan, someone was asking me if I fixed oh, they come with different stick caps. It's interesting. I'll keep these. But here are the electromagnetic Hall effect sticks. Similar design to the originals, which is these blue and green potentiometer based sticks. But these ones you'll never have to worry about stick drift again, which is awesome. You know what? I'm gonna make a post. What does he keep saying? Just gonna make a post real quick for the grams. You guys can basically you guys get like behind the scenes. Oh, where's the box? What did I just do with it? Where'd I put the box? Am I tripping? Oh, there it is. Sorry about that. Like, what in the world? But no, I really do wish these companies were more in line with like caring about the consumer and them being able to repair their own things. Quan said, a couple of my Atari 5200 controllers got drift. Even old analog controllers have problems. Oh yeah, I see that. Will you get the Switch 2? That is a great question, actually, and I'm glad you asked that because it gives me an opportunity to advertise that next month, which I'm going to start a campaign hopefully next week. Next month, I will be doing I will be doing a Switch 2 giveaway. I was able to secure more than one Switch 2, and either on the release day or the day after, I'll be doing a breakdown stream or a teardown stream where I'm gonna live stream taking apart the Switch 2 as soon as I get my hands on it. So stay tuned for that. That'll be interesting if you're interested in that and seeing the inside of a Switch 2. I've heard it leaked online at some places, but I'm going to do it for myself and communicate and talk with people and speak about it from a repair perspective and also from like an engineering perspective. Nice, that's awesome. Yeah, man. I like to give back to the people that have been supporting me. I have some loyal supporters that have been here since like day one, back when I started in October of 2023. So it's kind of my way of giving back. And then in the future, depending on how it does, I might do more of them or less of them. We'll just see. But this one is a huge upfront cost because, you know, the Switch 2 isn't cheap, but I figured it'd be an interesting, like, almost marketing campaign for my channel and business. So yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. And if you want, like, most of the details I'll probably be posting on my socials, and soon I'll have a Discord too. Well, I have the Discord basically complete. I'm just gonna post it and let people in there and whatnot. It's a community for like-minded people. But I appreciate you asking. Second, so make this post stick drift. Man, I'm so glad Hall Effect analog sticks exist, right? And I usually don't recommend them for like non-special edition controllers, but when you have a controller that's worth it, like one of these Spider-Man 2 edition PlayStation controllers, or like a rare Halo Infinite, Halo Infinite Elite Series 2 controller, it's worth it to put these modules because those controllers hold their value and they're valuable and they're good candidates for it. Hashtag Gully Kits. Alright, got that post done. Let's do the install. Appreciate you guys being patient with me. It's rough being the one-man army. I gotta post everywhere. Wish I had a team to do it. Save so much time. And said, I hope there's enough stock. Lo, are you in the US? If so, how are the tariffs gonna affect you guys? I'm just curious about that. Well, yes, I am in the US, in Florida in particular. In terms of tariffs, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. Not gonna lie. I know it affects me personally, like with this business that I'm doing, this electronic repair business. Parts have gone up. You know, they're more expensive and sometimes harder to find. So it does affect us, but I'm just gonna try to find alternatives or other solutions. You know, I can't control what certain people decide to do, but I can control what I do. So whatever I can do, if possible, I will do that. I'll try to find some type of solution. At least that's what my dad always taught me, you know. He's like, I don't like the word can't. He used to tell me that. Like, we don't like that word around here. You can say I'm unable to. That was the only caveat you got. You can say you're unable to right now, but we don't do can't around here. So figure something out. Alright, so for the first few points that I tack on for these new analog sticks, I'm just going to tack a few legs down just to hold it in place. And I'm applying pressure with my thumb to hold it in place. And we're just going to tack a solder joint. So that way it holds it and we don't have to worry about it moving around on us. And then we can go through and just solder. Again, while still applying pressure. Nice, that's one joint made. Let's do this other anchor point joint, and then we're going to solder the rest of it. And it's another opportunity for me to use my Omnivice. Let's get some flux on there. Can't believe my flux tube is actually getting low. I never thought I'd see the day. I still can't believe where this thing has gone to, man. I did not expect it. I'm not gonna say I didn't expect myself to still be doing it, but when I started this venture of mine in 2023, I don't know, didn't see all this. Pretty cool. Quan said, not a fan of tariffs, but other countries have been putting tariffs on American products for a long time. The new tariffs are a try and renegotiate. Yeah, I've heard that take. I mean, whatever it is, it's rough when it starts to affect you personally. Like, but again, like I said, I can't control it. I don't sweat that kind of stuff too much. I just try to work around it best I can. Alright, let's get the other analog stick tacked in. Okay, so this one wasn't fully empty, but we'll take care of that. We'll just keep pushing and apply some flux and push it through. Just like that. Got it pushed through, we got it super flush, and it's tacked in. We're gonna tack one more corner, and then we're gonna put it on our Omnivice to fully install. Oh yeah, Quan, what have you been... Ed said, if I was in the US and wanted something, I'd probably buy it broken or something and repair it if I can in terms of electronics. Exactly. Honestly, I kind of see my business doing pretty well, hopefully, like, you know, this business of mine, because repair is a cheaper alternative. And I think now people won't have as much disposable income to just buy a replacement. So I'm hoping that's where I can come in. And no, I'm not going to try to scalp everybody, but I think it's going to be a good value to try to fix what you have versus just replacing it. Quan said, I'll try to avoid political discussion, keep it more general. Yeah, that'll be cool. I just know, like, sometimes it can be polarizing. I know we know that. So I try to avoid, like, political or religious topics. You know, people want to talk about it. There's always DMs, you know what I'm saying? But thank you. Appreciate that. Just makes my job easier. But you know, I wanted to ask you, Quan, what have you been playing? It's funny calling you Quan, but I like to stick to people's usernames as much as I can, unless it's someone that I obviously like really know, you know. But even then, I try to stick to their usernames just out of principle and practice, so I can build the habit up. And yeah, say my bad for bringing it up. No, man, no big deal. I mean, it is what it is. No problem. Especially since like it affects the business. Like I feel like that's a pretty neutral thing to talk about. Like how the tariffs affect your business. Well, parts are more expensive. There's nothing wrong with that. I just replayed Terminator on Sega CD. What? That's kind of cool. You know what? One of these days I'm gonna have to ask you or Player One who just joined the chat on YouTube, like, to borrow some of these retro consoles. Like maybe we could do like a trade system or something, like almost like elementary school back in the day. Like here, I'll give you this and you let me have this for like a month or something, because you know we're adults now, we're busy, so we don't have all the time. But I feel like that would be so cool. Player One said, With old 8-bit computers or older, which old system would you like to tear into? Like an Atari XE or Commodore 64/128 Tandy? So I have no idea what an Atari XE is or a Tandy, but I do know what a Commodore 64 is, and I would love to work on that. Shoot, you can just visit the game room. Yeah, man, I gotta do that at some point. I gotta stop by. Alright, we got our components tacked in. Let's go ahead and solder it up. Actually, put... Alright, got the mask on again. I can protect my lungs. Quan said, I would trust you to borrow any of my consoles. Thank you. I'm glad I move and act in a way that makes you feel trust. That is definitely my mission. Plus, you know, it's easier when you just genuinely try to be trustworthy. That helps. You know, I heard a quote today that was fire. It was like, doing right costs nothing, but doing wrong can cost you everything. And the topic of discussion was like stealing, or, you know, just anything that's easier to cheat or do the hard, or not go down the difficult path. But I was like, that's a good quote. That's a bar right there. To do right costs nothing, but to do wrong can cost you everything. I was like, yeah, that's a good point. It's like one misstep can cost you so much. You know, I kind of want to show you guys this up close, actually, because I feel like this is very satisfying. Watching someone solder up close. Here, I got you guys. Put the Omnivice to the side. And we're going to solder these joints. Oh, let's zoom out. Let's raise the bar. Let's rotate. Alright, let's solder. Let's do it. Oh, no, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. It's nice to know I have people like who support me, believe in me, trust me. It's like I was saying in a few of my posts, like the community side is like really fun. I feel like if you can sit and talk to someone about your hobby for hours, you're in the right spot and you're in the right hobby. Alright, let's get these 4 in frame. Let's go to work. Alright. So these 4 pins, 1, 2, 3, 4, are for the clicking feature. When you, like in most games when you're trying to sprint, you click the analog stick. That's what these 4 pins relate to. It's for the button that gets pressed when you click your analog stick. Just want to make sure I don't miss any comments. Yeah, real soon I'm going to get a monitor on this wall, man, because I really want to be able to see your guys' comments without having to turn my head to the left. Little upgrades, man. Little upgrades that make a big difference for the overall flow of my episodes that I like to do here. And we got this last anchor point to solder in. Oh, let's redo the tack points that we made. As I said, have you played any games on Steam recently? I've been looking for some games to play. The only thing, so a recent game that my brother was telling me about that's like kind of an indie game on Steam. It's called Blue Fire. It's almost like a Metro or like a Zelda type game. Definitely gives me like Wind Waker mixed with Breath of the Wild. But that's a good one that I was playing on my Steam Deck not too long ago. I like to go to this Kava bar sometimes It's called, and when I'm there, I bring my handhelds or my laptop and I'll play on that. Also, I've been playing through Control slowly. I know it's an older game, but I've been playing through Control. That game's good. I've been enjoying that as well. But the next game I'll probably play, like seriously, is the Expedition 33 game. That game's been going crazy, man. I'm so upset that I wasn't able to snag a collector's edition, but that's alright. Alright, let's go ahead and solder this side in. So we got these 3 points up top. Man, I can't wait to do that video for Gully Kit, man. I'm looking forward to that. To me, it's like almost a mini sponsorship. Even though it's not a sponsorship, I don't want to speak on the terms. But they kind of gave me full creative control to come up with something. And I want to use that opportunity as a way to really test my editing skills. It's just crazy to think that a company, and I know they're trying to get more well known, but their products are in Best Buy. Like you can go to Best Buy and buy a Gully Kit branded controller. I think that's insane to me how they reached out to me like that. I thought that was really cool of them. I appreciate that. Sorry. Make sure I gotta keep reminding myself to be in frame. Player 1 asks, do you see or hear anything in your expertise or repair and soldering like a piece of equipment that's in the industry that you would like to acquire? That's a really good question. Man, I swear, yo, player 1, start a podcast like yesterday, man. Start a podcast like yesterday, or some type of blog where you like try to interview people. Your questions are phenomenal. To answer your question, player 1, yes, I want to get. There's a very common piece of equipment at the mid to higher level of electronic design and repair called an oscilloscope. It basically lets you see voltage over time. So you can literally see square waves, sinusoidal waves visually. You can see how the electrons are moving visually. And that's a piece of equipment that I use basically all the time at my day job, but I want to start using it here, especially for like laser repairs, because you can see the sine waves of things, or just to show you guys like some of the higher end equipment in the electronic space. Another piece of equipment I want to get is just a better thermal camera. I think that would be very useful for troubleshooting, especially when you're trying to troubleshoot a circuit and you don't have the schematic to reference, so you don't know the circuit exactly, so you have to kind of do alternative techniques, to figure out what's going wrong and to repair it. And then the third thing, which is where I wish I would need a lot of money to get, because this machine is like $15,000. But at a higher level, I'd like to get a BGA ball grid array rework station. It's a really nice rework station that makes placing components like this black chip right here. This is extremely difficult to place by hand, but if you have that machine, it makes it a breeze and allows you to be much more consistent and allows for a higher degree of repeatability. So that would definitely be something I would like to acquire. Well, and there's one more thing. It's a JBC soldering station. JBC is a company based out of Brazil, and they make nano soldering irons that are really cool and very fine pitch. Like the tips, the way the soldering iron heats up is on the tip itself. So the tip gets hot even though it's a really fine point. That's really good to have. And other than that, a nice to have, like an honorable mention, which is my last answer, would be one of these battery powered soldering irons. They're becoming more popular in the market, in the industry right now. It'd be so cool to have one. I feel like if I had a battery powered soldering iron, it would open me up for doing more mobile repairs. There's actually a company I saw an ad for on Instagram called Solder, And yes, that's how they pronounce their company name. It's spelt like solder, but they call themselves Solder, Solder or DR. And they're looking, I think they're on Kickstarter right now, but they're looking to make like soldering kits that are almost built into a briefcase. So you can be very mobile with it. So that's another one I'm looking into. Like, I'm kind of going to keep an eye on to see how it does. And maybe if their first revision isn't quite there, maybe their second revisions, if it gets enough support from backers, that would be something really cool to get. But yeah, there's lots of equipment that I would love to have. Another honorable mention would be an X-ray machine, so I can see my solder joints underneath a component, like a BGA component. Because there's no way to see it once the part is placed, so you would need an X-ray machine, which thankfully I have experience using, because at my day job we use X-ray machines for when I have to rework BGA components. We also have a BGA rework station at my day job as well, so it's nice to get that experience in. So let's say I do get that tool in the future, I already am a little bit of ways ahead in terms of using it, so that's pretty cool. Phenomenal question, by the way, as always. And right underneath that question, on YouTube said, "Oh nice, I've been patiently waiting for Silksong to release. I need to look up Expedition 33. I've heard Penguin's Ear saying that people hate it for some reason, but I'm gonna try it." What? I have heard nothing but good things about it. If Charlie's making a video on it, it's probably because like it's probably something political or something. I don't know. But IGN and all the other sources rated it like a 9 out of 10. I saw one place give it like a 9.8 out of 10, which is 98 out of 100, which is really good. My brother's currently playing it. He said and he recently played Metaphor, which is the Atlas game, the same people that made Persona, if you're into JRPGs. And he recently played Metaphor, and he said once he started, he couldn't put it down. Like, it was so good. And he's saying he's getting similar vibes with this Expedition 33 game. So I'm curious why people weren't liking it, because I've heard nothing but good things. Even from a Destiny YouTuber I watched named Astacross, or Cross for short, he was saying nothing but good things about it. So, alright, we got all the joints soldered in, and we have the board cleaned up. So now we're going to reassemble and test. Yeah, the cleaning of the controller, man, I don't know, I can't justify just doing it, especially when I have such a backlog these days. I mean, I can clean it up a little bit, but I'll hook them up. Try to clean up as much as I can without further breakdown. Alright, clean off the triggers. That should help a little bit, because they were sticking. We have the PlayStation button is all kind of stuck. It's like once you break the sugar, it's fine, but that initial sugar is rough. But yeah, Hollow Knight, man, Hollow Knight is such a good game. I kind of like games like that are pretty challenging. Almost like your Dark Souls type games, but I never got into the Dark Souls series. I just couldn't get into it. But I do like challenging games. Love this Blue Metron. Oh, that's better. That's good. Alright. Let's see if I can do the same with these buttons up here. Man, the Twitch chat is pretty quiet. I'm surprised. Yeah, I love Hollow Knight. Oh yeah, man. I think I have a sealed copy for the Switch somewhere. But I have it on Steam. I'm also a huge Steam gamer. Let's see if I can just unstick this button. just to help them out a little bit, get the customer out a little bit. Yeah, whatever liquid, whatever beverage he was drinking really got in there, man. It's quite hard, but I've been waiting for Silksong for so long. I have a feeling it'll release around the time GTA 6 will. Oh yeah, good point. Press Start Player One said you mentioned on YouTube. He said you mentioned recently your fondness of Sonic 2 Sega Genesis. Have you played Sonic Mania current gen? Yes, and I love Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania was a good return to form. I'm so glad that came out, and the lore behind that game is really cool. The fact that it was literally fans who made the game. That's why I've always appreciated how Sega responds to fan projects when it comes to their IP like Sonic. It's almost like they use it as a way to recruit talent. Like they're just like, oh yeah, do it. And then if you're really good, we'll hire you. And I think that's such a good way to incentivize people interacting with your IP. And you get good talent. You get some really skilled people. But yeah, Sonic Mania, love that. Love the soundtrack, love the gameplay. Amazing return to form, especially being someone who played the original 3 Sonic games, the original trilogy, a lot. We had a PC version of the game. It came with Sonic CD, Sonic 1, 2, and 3, obviously, and with Knuckles, and Sonic R. It was like on PC. We had it back when we were kids, before 06, and it had like a bunch of Sonic games on a PC disc, and I played that so much. And from YouTube said, but I understand games like Hollow Knight and Silksong take so long to make and perfect, as well as GTA 6, obviously. Oh yeah, the fact that GTA 6 got delayed a year, I think everybody is super like relaxed with that. Nobody has been heavily complaining about that because they know a game like GTA 6 takes time. Now I'm not like a huge GTA fan or player, but I can appreciate and respect a game for what it is and what it does for the industry in terms of graphics and, you know, raising the bar and whatnot. And GTA 6 is definitely going to do that, without a doubt. But yeah, and in a game like Silksong, I feel like most of the balancing is gonna, or most of the time, the delay in like release is gonna come from the balancing of the game, like making sure, you know, things aren't too hard and they're also not too easy, like striking that perfect balance. I feel like that's where most of the time is going to be spent. Alright, let's do it. Alright, we just got to move the cables out of the way so the motherboard, the main board, can sit flush. Excuse me. Cable did not go above board. It's not above board. That's funny. Good. Oh my gosh. Hall effect sticks, they have very natural feel to them. But I don't know, I feel like I notice a difference in how they feel. They feel so good. And said, "LOL, I just hope the GTA 6 online mode won't be as pay to win as it is in GTA 5." That's funny. I don't know exactly how pay to win it is, but that is, I hope not to, because it's never fun where you just literally, you're not even getting outskilled, you're getting outdollared. Oh yeah, I did run an HDMI cable already for the potential monitor that's gonna go here. Nice. Forgot I did that. I was wondering why there was a random HDMI cable just floating around. Let's get this. I might go scoop up a monitor tomorrow. Might go look on like Marketplace or something. Alright, we're just gonna be reinserting ribbon cables. Nice. Alright, that's looking good. We just need to reattach the motor wires for on both sides of the controller. So let's go ahead and do that. I think I'm going to do that off microscope. It's just 4 wires to tack in. Alright, another amazing question from Press Start Player 1, I'm sure. I didn't even read it yet. He said, watching you repair that controller reminds me that I need to tear down one of my Japanese Sega Saturn controllers that's gnarly. It has a chewed start button, cleaned and fixed one before. Hey man, you should do it, and then you'll be like, it's almost like I'm working with you. We'll be like side by side, virtually. I think that would be dope. Alright, let's get these wires tacked in. Yeah, it's to the point where like I have personal projects that I parked because it just happens, man. Life be lifing. Nice. Quick solder joints, then we got green. Alright. This thing not turning. Yeah, strand got separated. It's not turning. This thing is just twisting on itself. That's annoying. These tweezers don't have enough bite. I wonder if they make like serrated needle nose tweezers. That would be interesting. I know they do, but some of this like fine point, make these a little bit wider. There we go. We're going to tack that down. Alright, that side is done. Time to do the other. So we have red. Green. Oh no, I had it. I pushed a little too hard. That's alright, we can adjust. Green and yellow. Nice. Alright, everything's reconnected. Let's go ahead and get this thing calibrated. Okay, It's so interesting saying his name. It's EH. His username is literally EH. So I have to be like, or EH. Maybe I can say that. On YouTube said, I mean, it takes like a year to unlock most things in GTA 5, but a huge problem is people using mod menus and trolling you when you're doing things. So most people just buy a mod menu to protect themselves. Oh, I see. And to mod money to OFC too. Mod in money, of course, too. Of course, infinite money glitch. For some reason this year took them so long to implement actual anti-cheat, or maybe it was later last year. Gotcha. Yeah, it's always annoying. I forgot what game got ruined because of cheaters from Rockstar. Oh, Midnight Club LA. And I tried to play that game one time online. There's literally a guy with like, it's like he had the power star from Mario Kart. He was just glowing in like a rainbow color. I was like, dude, how do you, that's not in game. Press Start Player One says, you're at a game con with games everywhere. What's a game on your list that has to be in your collection? All right, let me add to that question. Is it a game I don't have already, or a game I have already? I'm just, I feel like, yeah, I'm curious which path you'll take with that. A game I already have, or a game I don't have already? You don't currently have. Okay. Game I don't currently have, if I'm at a retro gaming convention that I have to get, is an Elon Musk. Ooh, that's a tough one. A game I don't have that is a must-have that I don't. Oh man, I'm gonna have to cook on that one. Excuse me. I'm gonna have to cook on that one. One second, one second. Let me saute that real quick. I have to let that one simmer a little. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. Game that I don't have that I want in my collection. Oof, that's a good question. You know what's funny? There's actually a game. I just thought of a game. And don't laugh at me, alright? Don't laugh at me. But a game I'd want to have that I don't currently, if I was at a convention, and I do want this game, I just never got it, is GoldenEye for Nintendo 64. I actually want that game, but I do not have a copy. That's like one of the few games that I've actually played a bit growing up that I don't have a copy of. I never owned it. My cousins did. But yeah, that would be the game. Is GoldenEye 007. Oh man, I love coconut water. This Amazon brand coconut water is pretty good too. This is my first time testing it out, and so far it slaps. Not the sweetest, but these days I don't mind not having sugar. Oh, cool. I used to own that one. Yeah, you know, it's one of those games that my cousins always had, and I played it with them, but I never had it myself. So it's like, it'd be cool to have, but like I don't have it, and that's one that's actually kind of attainable. You know what I mean? It's not like crazy expensive. Alright, so got the PS5 controller in. I'm going to go ahead and do the calibration process and bring you guys along with me. So let's do that. Screen share. Alright, so for the Gully Kit sticks in particular, Gully Kit has their own calibration. Yeah, here it is. Their own calibration software. Or web app. Which is, again, super clutch to Gully Kit for having that. Press a button. Alright. Alright, no more drift, but they're in a position that needs to be like stuck down. Alright, so let's go ahead and calibrate. Take my gloves off for this. Gotta go into full gamer mode for this. Alright, so calibrate joysticks. Is it not? Excuse me. What's going on? Oh, it's because this app has control. Okay, yeah, let me refresh. I had the other web page up. I believe that's what was going on. Okay, let me try again. Maybe it's... I had a DualSense controller. Let me try again. I've used it before and it worked just fine. What's going on? Why is it... Let me not have it plugged in already. Let me wait. Connect. Do I have this up? Hold on 1 second. Let me check something real quick. Make sure I don't have anything up that would be interfering with it. But it shouldn't be. Let's go back to screen share and keep working on trying to figure out what's going on. Interesting. Here, let me see. I might need to try it in a different browser, maybe. Here, let me try that. Copy. Go back to just chatting. Let's try Firefox. I don't even know if I have Firefox. I don't have Firefox. I haven't used Firefox in a while. Maybe Edge. I don't even use Edge, man. That's interesting. Yeah, it's not letting me calibrate an Edge either. Wow, this is a first. I literally used this web app not too long ago. I'm curious what's going on. I'll try Firefox. I only use Brave browser. Always works for me. Okay. And you've used the GullyKit version of the calibration web app? Because I know there's one that's neutral, and I've used that one. I might end up using that one, but I like to use GullyKits because it's, you know, their product. Well, let me see. And I've used Chrome for the other one, the non-GullyKit one. Might end up trying that one and see how it goes. Wow. I wonder if this is a result of liquid damage? I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so. you could try, or maybe clearing cache or something. I'm not sure though. Yeah, good point. Good point. Let me try this. Let me try. All right. Let's see. Well, I think I'm going to try the non-Gully Kit one. Let's try that. Because the Gully Kit one is not working. I don't know if it's down temporarily. Mod repair, DualSense calibration. Understood. Connect. Okay, so this is the non-Gully Kit one. I don't know if it'll cause any type of weirdness. Maybe I need to do this. NVS status locked. NVS unlocked. You know what? I want to try this. See, you guys get to see how I experiment with certain things. See what's going on. Let's see if that does it. Nope. Alright, let's go back to... I keep clicking the wrong thing. Let's go back to the other one. Alright, let's calibrate stick center. And start. Alright, top left. I'm gonna go top right. Bottom left. Bottom right. And done. Alright, that looks good. That looks really good. Still need to get the range. The range on this right side is not good. See, it's not hitting 1. You see RX right here? It should be going to +1 at max range, but it's not. And it's flashing because it's constantly changing. The most it goes up to is 96. So we need to calibrate stick range. Rotate the stick slowly. I like to do 3 to 5 rotations. There's 3. I'm gonna do a few more just for good measure. Okay. Alright, let's see. Much better. Much better. Oh yeah, that looks good. And that looks perfect. Alright, let's save changes. Alright, let's go over back to our gamepad tester. And look at that. Look at them sticks, boy. They solid. Let's test circularity. For circularity, less than 10% is good. Less than like 8% is better. Oh my goodness, that is amazing. Alright, that's a W. That is a W. Well, dead zones are pretty good. Alright. That's a W, guys. We did good. Alright. Oh, sorry, I missed some of your comments. Restart Player 1 said, have you ever dealt with a game system from, say, PAL region with different power standards, 50 Hz, 60 Hz, 220, 240 volts AC, that makes things difficult to repair in the States? Yes and no, to answer your question. And here, let me go back to the overhead cam so I can reassemble this controller. Great question. Again, phenomenal question. The only thing that makes working on controllers from different regions a little cumbersome is basically not having the power output that it's looking for, right? Especially if the equipment didn't come with a switch. Some equipment comes with a switch, like power supplies, that let it run in 110, like the US standard, and then 240, which is like European. And sometimes you need to buy an inverter that lets you switch 110 to 240, basically from North American standard to the European standard. And I have one of those because I bought a white Chinese PlayStation 3 because I wanted the OEM white housing. I was thinking of doing like a mod, and I got it for a good price. And the person who sold it to me, they sold it to me with the inverter because they brought it here from China and they used it in China, and they had this inverter when they brought it here to try to use it as a Blu-ray player. So I was like, yeah, man, I'll take it. But that's the only thing that can be a little cumbersome. Other than that, no big deal. It's just more steps. Here, back of the case. Let's get this thing put back together. And if this customer decides he wants to go through with a deep cleaning service, I will, because that's full disassembly. That takes time. I'm not trying to scalp or anything, but that takes time. You guys just saw how much time it took just to do a light cleaning of like just some of the buttons to try to ungum them up. But to do a deep cleaning, like full disassembly, soak everything in water, scrub it down, make sure it's super crispy, that takes time. And for that, I would charge a little more. Let's get these screws in. You know, one of these days I'm gonna have to install these analog sticks on my own controller. So I have some special edition controllers that I think would be good candidates. What I'm really looking for, and I think they recently released it, is Gully Kit making these Hall Effect joysticks, or TMR electromagnetic joysticks for the Edge controller. I was able to scoop up a used Edge controller for a good price from a local pawn shop that I do some computer repairs for. And yeah, I've been wanting to upgrade it, because one of the sticks has been having a little bit of drift. No Fast and Furious, but it's drifting. And I'm actually looking forward to the stream tomorrow because I'm going to get into some bigger repair. I'm going to try to get more repairs done. I started a little later because I went to a retro video game museum today. Thought it was a good way to, get out there, hang out with some friends, meet some new people who are into this hobby. And overall, that's exactly what it was. That's exactly how it went. It was a good experience. I kind of want to go back because unfortunately this Saturday they're closing down. But the owner, I was speaking to him, his name is Daniel. He was talking about how he's thinking of redoing it, maybe learning from some certain things and trying again. So I was like, oh yeah, man, I'm all for that. I want to see where you take it. And I told him it'd be cool to see his retro video game museum take off. I think that's awesome, some of the stuff he had in there, man. He had like an Odyssey. He had things way before my time that I've never heard of. I was like, what? This is cool. I liked it, but then again, I'm already into the hobby, obviously, right? I think that interview that I did with GameCube Galaxy really spilt the beans on me. People saw bits and pieces of my collection and some of the things I like. Awesome time, exactly. And I would do it again. I would do it again. Yeah, let's do our final test. I know I just tested it, but I like to just do a quick button check after full final assembly. You never know if something gets dislodged or anything like that. Thank you for hanging with us. Man, you don't gotta thank me for that. Shoot, I ain't that special. But thank you for inviting me. That's what I should be saying, actually. I appreciate that. It's always a good time to spend time with people who are into the same hobby as you. It's always fun. Alright, let's do our final check. And let us see. Oh, wow. That's detected as the second controller now. It's like press start player 1. No, press start player 2. Let's zoom this in real quick. Oh yeah, man. As long as it's getting max range, which is really good, and that's what I'm seeing, and all the axes, the 2 axes. Alright, button check. Good, good. And the triggers are working. We have select start. Clicks are working. Up, down, left, right, working. PlayStation button's good. Everything's good. Alright, that was just a quick one for tonight. I think that did good. I'm gonna test circularity again. Man, that range is good. Super solid. Alright. Yeah, this is super solid. Nice. Go to the just chatting view. Alright, everybody. We're approaching 11 p.m. I don't know why, I'm just like extra tired today. But tomorrow, I'm going to be streaming for longer than I usually do on a Saturday. I think I'm going to start an hour earlier and end an hour later than I typically do. That's my goal for tomorrow. So, if you got time and you want to hang out with the pack, highly recommend that you stop by. We'd love to have you. Oh, actually, I wanted to talk about this before ending the stream. So, like I was saying before, Torn Meniscus and GameCube Galaxy, we were chatting, and they were telling me about this game, this Beach Spikers. It's a volleyball game for the GameCube, and it's funny, it says only for GameCube, but Sega AM2 made it. So that's interesting to me. I wonder if there was actually an arcade cabinet for this game, and I want to try it out. I don't know if I'll play it on stream, but because I'm gonna be whack at it. But they're telling me apparently this game has tech and it's like competitive and it's pretty good, so we'll see. I found a solid copy. Disc is in great shape. Never heard of this game though. This is one of those games that I definitely would not have picked up. Right? Of course, I would rather buy like Mario 80 times over before I look at this game. But come to find out, apparently this game is cracked. Apparently. So, we'll see. Looking forward to playing it. And I'm also looking forward to playing more games on stream. I'm trying to think of days that it would be good to do so. I think Tuesday I might stick to like Destiny. But Tuesday is not going to work. I don't have a whole lot of time on Tuesdays. We'll see. I do know I want to start playing video games on stream because I think it would be cool. Just as a way to be like, mix it up, because it is a hobby of mine, and I don't want to spend too much time just working all the time. As much as I love it, I can't do it forever, you know? So, or all the time, I should say. But yeah, everyone, I want to say thank you as always for being here. Player 1 with your questions, with your questions. I'm curious like where you're from, because you asked earlier, are you from the US? And usually people who are from the US don't ask that. So I'm curious where you reside from. If you don't mind me asking you, you don't have to say it, of course. I'm a very low friction, low pressure kind of guy, man. I don't push anybody to do anything these days. So, yeah, man. This was a good stream. It's always nice having you guys to talk with. Really appreciate you guys being here. But alright, I'm gonna go hit the shower like Sonic in that casino level from Sonic Adventure 1. Peace, what's good, brother? Soulman IT, welcome, welcome. Oh man, I feel bad. Soulman IT, I'm gonna be ending the stream shortly. Sorry. I just finished up a repair of a PS5 DualSense controller that had stick drift. But we fixed it, but we not only fixed it, we upgraded it, Soulman. We added these Gully Kit TMR electromagnetic analog sticks. These things do not get stick drift. So the customer opted to go with this upgrade for an upcharge. So that was really cool. And he'll never have to worry about stick drift again. Someone said, no worries, man, hitting the notification bell. Thank you. I appreciate that. That helps me out a ton. Plus, you'll be alerted, of course. It's awesome. And S said, great stream, man. I enjoyed it. I'm going to go sleep. I'm from the EU. I won't mention the specific country, but I enjoyed the stream. Keep it up. Okay, no problem, man. It's nice to have you here. Wherever you reside from. Doesn't bother me. Doesn't matter to me. As long as you're here, you're chatting, having a good time, good convos, I love it. And Soulman IT said, that's awesome. Yeah, I think not having to worry about stick drift is really good. But alright, everyone. Thanks again for stopping by the stream. Till tomorrow. I should be streaming tomorrow. And for longer than I normally do. So I'll see you guys then if you're available, of course. But see you guys. Peace.